please make some noise for Dr. Linda Nicoll.
Good evening, everybody. I am Dr. Linda Nicoll. Some of you may recognize me from your last pap smear. Actually, I already recognized half of the comedians here from J-Date. As you've already been told, J-Date's the online Jewish dating service. So it's kind of like, you know, our crowd favorite, OkCupid, but slightly less attractive with a better 401k. The truth is, if I had known that OkCupid was the free one, I would have known where to find the Jewish guys. On J-Date, I describe myself as a 33-year-old single Jewish physician, which should make me gold. I am the perfect son-in-law. The obvious problem with that statement is that I'm a chick. So in order for my J-Date headline to have the same impact, I would have to describe myself as a 21-year-old bisexual heiress to a brewery fortune.
Don't touch me!
I lose a lot of patience that way. So basically, in order to get attention on J-Date, I just tell people I have a double-jointed vagina. I can make a vagina joke because, as you've been told, I'm an OBGYN. And for those of you who've never seen a vagina, and you know who you are, that's an obstetrician gynecologist. Some of my friends refer to me as a vaginacologist. I find that term really offensive. I like to think of myself as a doc in a box. OBGYNs see the world from a different perspective than you do. You might see a pregnant woman walking down the street and you think, oh my God, that's so wonderful, she's gonna have a baby. I just think, oh God, I hope she doesn't want me to check if she's dilated. I can't even watch TV the way I used to. There's so many TV shows now about these huge families. There's John and Kate plus 8. There's the Octomom, and my favorite, which is TLC's 21 Kids and Counting. I used to hate that show, like you. I would say, who the hell wants so many kids? Now I love that show because I watch it and I think about that woman's obstetrician and how he got paid for 21 deliveries. According to my calculations, that man just paid off his student loans and bought a Lamborghini. And according to my calculations, after 21 kids, he can park his Lamborghini in that woman's vagina. Actually, that's not true. In my professional opinion, he would need an SUV. A Lamborghini is a sports car. It's small. It would just fall right out. You're welcome. Being a doctor has also ruined my favorite sex game. I find I can't play doctor. That's like a kinky sex game. A guy's like, hey, baby, you wanna play doctor? I'm like, all right, baby. What kind of insurance you got? You got Cigna? That's some good coverage. Why don't you take off your clothes, put on this paper gown, wait for me in this cold room. I'll be back in about an hour. But don't get impatient. I can only spend 5 minutes with you. I have a whole waiting room full of people I have to see tonight. It's also ruined some commercials for me. I see the commercial for the first response early pregnancy test. We tell you 5 days before your missed period. Who the hell wants to know that they're pregnant 5 days sooner? That just totally ruined periods for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I hate them as much as you do, but they mean I don't need an abortion. Hi, Mom. And why would you want to know 5 days sooner anyway? That's 5 more days you can still drink. truth of the matter is that I'm single, and as a Jew, I try to date, within my faith, but I'm trying to branch out a little bit. So I've started dating non-Jews, and my favorite type of non-Jew to date is anti-Semites. It actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it. They're already familiar with our culture, with our traditions. They know our major holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and the Macy's one-day sale. And when I go out with them and I don't put out, I don't have to feel bad, because that's yet another well-worn Jewish tradition they should have known about. The truth is, I've been kind of screwed up about the whole, sex thing ever since the school bus. That's really where it all goes back to, is the school bus. And I remember having been on my way home from summer camp, and somebody wanted to insult me, and they said, "Linda, you're so stupid, I bet you don't even know what a blowjob is." I said, "Of course I do. I'm 11. So I told them, and I got laughed off the bus. So I went home crying, and I consulted the world's foremost expert on sex, my 13-year-old brother. I said, "James, why did they laugh at me? Why are they laughing at me?" And he said, "Well, what did you tell them?" I said, "Well, it's when the woman puts the penis in her mouth and blows into it to inflate it before having sex." Right? And my wise older brother, he thought about this for a few minutes, and he said, "Linda, you're absolutely right. Don't let anyone ever tell you differently." Needless to say, years later, all of his friends complained I gave terrible head. But, I'm not ready for kids. A lot of my friends have kids. And as somebody who's delivered literally hundreds of babies, I can tell you a secret. You want to hear it? Yeah. They're not all cute. But it's hard because they're my friends' children. So you can't really say anything mean. But they show you this baby, and they're so proud of the baby. And you can't really say, geez, does anybody else get reminded of a bald chicken or like an angry Klingon? Anybody? And I just say, the most truthful thing I can. He looks just like your husband. I try to say nice things. I say, wow, that's 7 pounds, 2 ounces of something, isn't it? So, which end does the diaper go on? Oh, clever! Clever. I would have never guessed. So I'd like to thank you all. You've been a lovely audience, and have a good evening.